It's several minutes behind. Okay. We'll just go for it. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nate Soroda. I'm with the Honolulu Department of Parks and Recreation. Thank you for joining us here at Herbert K. Pililā Park. We're going to be announcing the realization of an energy-saving performance contract with NORESCO, and I'll be starting off by explaining the project in a broad overview. So basically what we're announcing here today is the beginning of improvements to 49 different parks around Oahu, including here at Pililā Community Park. That's going to be improving the energy efficiency of our parks. Now this comes with a variety of benefits, and some of the other speakers will be getting into more detail, but those energy measures that we're going to be specifically implementing include retrofitting our plumbing fixtures to make them more energy efficient, to consume less water, changing out our lighting, interior and exterior lighting, to be LED, also converting a lot of our athletic field lights, including here at Pililā, to LED lights, transforming our electric transformers to more electricity efficiency, upgrading a lot of our pool pumps, about 14 of our pool pumps, to be able to generate their own chlorine using salt conversion. And then also quite a bit of other irrigation improvements, including making weather-based improvements so that they are more efficient with the water usage, and then also doing complete plumbing replacements, or piping replacements, at 2 parks at Makapu'u and Haleiwa. Now, this has a wide variety of benefits. Not only is it making our facilities more energy efficient, it's saving taxpayers money to the tune of about $97 million over 20 years. It's going to create local jobs, and it's also going to benefit the environment by obviously consuming less energy in the way of less electricity and less water. And also, more importantly, it's going to improve the park experience for average park users by making these facilities more available. And here to talk about that in more detail is the Deputy Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, Kehaulani Pu'u. Thanks, Kea.
Mahalo, Nate. Yes, the Department of Parks and Recreation is super excited and happy about this project. As Nate shared, there are so many benefits, and one I want to speak about particularly is the improvement to the park users' experience. This is going to help us to address deferred maintenance, which is a huge challenge in DPR right now. A lot of our maintenance projects become so large and significant that they actually become capital improvement projects, which takes which is a lengthy process of design, construction, planning, budgeting, and until completion. And these projects can take several years to complete. So, you know, this project with NORESCO is going to help us check off some of those maintenance projects, and will free up our time and resources to focus on other projects and hopefully get them done quicker. The same can be said for our on the ground staff, our staff who take care of our parks on an everyday basis, and our specialized maintenance staff as well. Um, this will free up their time also to focus on challenges, things happening in our parks, maintenance issues. But as a result of this project, they would be responding to less breakdowns, and because of the regular maintenance, again, it would free up more of their time. So one example, which I think is super interesting, is our pool operations. Right now, our staff have to insert chlorine into our pumps every day, in order to keep our pool water clean. And under this project, NORESCO will be installing new pool pumps, which will not only be more efficient, but will actually convert salt water into chlorine. So it's a much healthier, cleaner alternative to what we currently use. So mahalo to NORESCO, to the city, and I want to mahalo our staff also for being a part of this project and helping it come to fruition. Mahalo.
All right, thanks, Kehal. And as I mentioned before, this project has vast environmental benefits. I mean, making anything more energy efficient just inherently has benefits to our environment. And we've been working in concert with our Office of Climate Change, Sustainability, and Resiliency to chart those changes, those improvements, and to also make sure that what we're doing can be sustainable into the future. So here from that office is Nicola Hedge.
Thanks, Nate, and a big mahalo and congratulations to the Department of Parks and Recreation. I think when I pause to think about, and I think when we all pause to think about some of the special moments that we have here on Oahu. So many of them are in parks, whether it's hanging out with our friends and family on the weekend, teaching our keiki to swim, going for hikes, connecting with nature, increasingly playing pickleball. And so it is just so exciting to see this confluence of efforts really that we're launching today, really benefiting these special places that make our island so special. And not only have you heard some of the important outcomes of this energy services performance contract initiating for parks and their facilities, but it's going to pay dividends across the island through these investments for community, for our economy, and especially for our environment. And really excited to highlight some of those here for us today. Certainly, there's a lot of great impacts that this project will drive in terms of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. The city is really committed to climate action, and this project is really an essential piece of the pie in what we can do in our own operations to save money, save energy, and save greenhouse gas emissions. Overall, this project is poised to save some 7,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is equivalent to taking about 1,500 cars off the road or planting nearly 6,000 koa trees. This is really significant. It's also going to help reduce water and energy use across the island, helping to support a more resilient grid and helping do our part, our kuleana, to reduce water. That includes saving nearly 4.3 million kilowatt hours of energy and conserving nearly 210 million gallons of water. And you heard Kehau speak briefly about some of the other important aspects around reducing the use of harmful pool chemicals through salt to chlorine generation, saving some 156,000 gallons of chlorine. So overall, it is a really exciting project. It's exciting to be here today in waianae to mark the beginning of this island-wide work. So a big congratulations to the city team and its partners, who we're going to hear a little bit more from soon, from NORESCO. And certainly I just want to encourage folks, today is Energy Efficiency Day. And so I just want to encourage folks that along with the city and this leadership, there are lots of ways that you can take part at home. I encourage folks, if you're interested, to check out hawaiienergy.com. They have lots of rebates and incentives for people today to save energy, save cost, which we know keeps putting a lot of pressure on families, and do your part around climate action. So with that, thank you, Nate.
All right, thanks, Nicola. And last but not least, a representative from NORESCO who's going to talk about the various economic benefits. One of the beautiful things about this project is that most of it is not costing taxpayers anything. We're actually paying for this project through the energy savings that we will be receiving over the 20-year period that our contract is going to be with NORESCO. So I'd like to introduce Nicole Velasco with NORESCO.
Thanks so much, Nate. And it is a beautiful day here at Pililā Park. As Nate mentioned, my name is Nicole Velasco, and on behalf of our NORESCO team, we are just so grateful to Mayor Blangiardi, his administration, Deputy Director Pu'u, our Office of Climate Change, which is incredible. I'd also like to mahalo my team for being here as well today. Now, throughout this entire process, we've been committed to developing a project that is about preserving our parks, our beloved open spaces. And we're really happy to report that in this project that we've been designing with DPR, we're going to save about $97 million in taxpayer money, which is incredible. And what that means is that we'll be able to enjoy these parks without the burden being placed on our communities. In the first year alone, we'll be saving about $3.4 million, and those savings will just accrue over the course of the 20-year life cycle of this project. So when we're thinking about the design, of course it's being fiscally responsible, it's being technically sound, but it's also about how do we support the economic prosperity of our people. So we're really excited to report for the construction period that we're in right now, 80% of our workforce is going to be kama'aina, so our local Hawaii residents just like you and me, and that's really important to us. The other piece in addition is that through the economic impact and the activity of this project, we're going to see about 400 plus jobs generated and supported throughout the city and county of Honolulu. So it's a very special project. It's one that is really important to all of us. You can probably see there's some community members practicing football behind us. And what it's really about is supporting this administration's vision for a more sustainable and resilient Oahu, but also doing it for our people, doing it for our community, and making sure that these beautiful open green spaces are made available for generations to come. So kudos, hats off to this administration and everybody who's worked so hard to make it a reality. We are so excited and we're so grateful. And I would be remiss if I did not also recognize Dory, who's been a very integral part of this project, making sure that we're able to do our work so that we can continue to serve all of you. So mahalo.
Thanks, and thank you for embarrassing Dory. She has been an integral part of this whole collaboration with NORESCO. I can see her blushing in the background. Awesome job, Dory. So one of the things I'd like to mention is the reason that we're making this announcement today is we've actually begun into the construction phase of this job. So the public is going to start seeing these improvements being realized in the parks. It actually already started beginning here at Pililā. They're doing some work on the irrigation controls here. You'll start seeing it in Mililani and Kapolei at those 49 park sites. And one of the things that NORESCO has partnered with us in doing is creating a website where the public can chart these changes and can keep track of them because they're going to be taking place over the next 2 years. So if you go to bit.ly/efficient parks, it'll have an explanation of this project and a map that'll have updates on when these improvements are scheduled to be happening, where they're happening, and also any updates to any closures of park facilities. Because with any improvements, any upgrades, there may be some small-term closures of the facilities, particularly with our pool pumps, as they are upgraded. So that website will be a great resource for the public to check out to see what's happening in their community, and then if there's a longer-term closure to a park facility, we will certainly broadcast it on our DPR social media. With these projects beginning today or this week, the realization of it, we're expected to see the completion of all the upgrades by summer of